In this video, I'm going to show you everything you have to know about Asta, how good he is in every game mode with awakenings, with good pets, etc. And show you, in comparison to Guts and Freren, so you know which of the two gachas you should use, or if you have the old meta Guts and you want to know if you need to get the new meta Asta. Make sure to subscribe because I make giveaways at certain milestones. Also join my Discord server there. I post my information and my spreadsheet. I have all the information there. My spreadsheet has a lot of different information, fruit information, pet information, character information for most. I have all of it here and I'm working on a tier list here for all the different characters I've tested. Well, yeah, Asta is actually meta, but is he meta for everything? Is he meta if you don't have Gauro pets? Is he meta if you don't have the Awakening? Whatever. So that's what we're gonna figure out now. First ability on Asta has barely any range, so the AoE is not so good. Sideways, it's okay, but like forward, he does not have any range. Like, he doesn't hit from here. But the damage is 7.2x, pretty good. Energy gain is really good for a first ability, and 50% of the time you're gonna reset it and you can use it again. Well, it doesn't say. The second ability actually does reset the first ability, so you want to use it once the first ability is not available. Also, it's 24x, which is stronger than most characters' fourth abilities, and really strong. It's a really good move, has good energy gain for a second ability as well, is really fast and is a good dash as well. Though keep in mind that if you only hit like in the back, you're not gonna hit all the hits, because it's a bit weird with the hitbox. You need to be about in the middle to get all the 14 hits. It says 17 here because I have Celestial, but yeah, it's 14 hits. So you have to hit it about in the middle. If it's Divine Raid, it's not gonna matter, you're gonna hit all of them. The third ability has less damage than the second ability and less energy gain with longer cooldown, and it does take longer for you to use it, but it gives you a speed boost. So it's just a worse second ability. It's still better than using mouse clicks. So you use it, and yeah, that's fine, but you don't really use it otherwise. So it's not a good move, but it's better than mouse one clicks. The fourth ability does have good damage, good energy gain, but it does take a bit too long to actually use it. Like, yes, good AoE and everything, but it takes a long time to use it. It does give you 20% critical chance, which does not matter if you are late game. But yeah, it's not a worth it move to use because it just takes too long to use. That's why I don't use it, honestly. But yeah, it just takes too long, and this is just too long to use. The fifth ability is really strong though. The second strongest move in the game, I believe. Has really good energy gain as well. And it's a really good effect. 1.5 times more damage on the skills, so not M1s, just on the moves, and probably not on assist as well, for 45 seconds. So really you want to combo this with other things. It's really good. It's also fast. Like, it's about as fast as the third ability, maybe a bit slower. But it's a really fast fifth ability. It's a really good one. It does boost Asta's damage by a lot. His assist is one of the strongest assists in the game, DPS wise, though it does only give 20% critical chance, which is not as good as like boss damage or attack as other gacha characters have. It's one of the worst gacha assists, but critical chance for beginners is pretty good, and the damage is fine. So if it's unawakened and you don't have any other awakened characters, it's a pretty good assist. The annoying part with Asta is that not all moves are balanced. The third and the fourth abilities were not the best. The first and second abilities were really good, and fifth ability as well. So basically the only thing you do with Asta is use 5, 1, and 2. So use fifth ability, then you spam 1. If 1 doesn't reset itself, you use 2, and then you spam 1 again, and then you hope that the Gauro pet activates, and then you can spam them again. And now that you don't have any skills and Gauro isn't activated, then you use 3, and then hopefully to get back 1 and 2 again. So you basically just use 1, 2, and 5, and if you can't use any of those abilities, you use 3 and 1s, and then just 1, 2 again. I don't think it's worth it to use fourth ability, so yeah. Even though he is meta, he's really RNG based. Sometimes you're gonna do worse than Guts, and sometimes you're gonna do better than Guts. So it's really just RNG based. You have to do a lot of raids, and this raid was a really bad one. I only got 331 billion. I think you can get 350 billion but like I could probably one raid get 320 billion, one raid get like 350 billion. It's such a big difference from RNG. You have to be lucky, reset the first ability a lot, and not just M1. Let us start with assist just to get that through. So without any awakenings, this will be the assist tier list. So Freren and Asta both have 60-second assists, and they have the most DPS, so damage per second, out of all assists in the game. Guts comes in second place, tied with the other gacha characters except for Dio. But yeah, unawakened, this is it. With the awakening though, it's gonna be Freren the best, then it's gonna be Guts, and lastly, it's going to be Asta. So Asta has good damage, but the assist effect is only critical chance, while boss damage is much better, and attack as well. Critical chance is good for beginners, but still, the other two are gonna be better. So Guts without the awakening and a no pet is actually pretty good. His awakening move isn't that good, and in general he can spam a lot and has strong damage, so he doesn't like rely on having the awakening move or having a really good pet to reset his attacks, because he can just spam anyway. So he's really good without a pet and everything, and he's the best out of them. Freren is also pretty good without a pet, actually really good without a pet, but she needs her awakening move to be good. So she's not as good as Guts because she needs her awakening move to actually get a lot of damage. Asta relies on the pets and the awakening move, not that much as the awakening move, but relies a lot on the pet, needs a good pet, so he's actually the worst out of the three if you don't have any good stuff at all. So for beginners, Asta's gonna be the worst, Guts is gonna be the best. If you have the awakening but still not a good pet, then Freren is gonna be the best one. Freren is really good without a pet, like either the best or the second best after Kurumi, and she's just really good without a pet. So and with the awakening move, she doesn't need anything else, she just can spam and a lot of stuff. Guts and Asta are really good without pets as well, but they just doesn't come close to Freren. Freren is one of the best without a pet, but yeah. If you have Tanjiro pets, so one of the best pets that isn't a cooldown reduction pet, then Freren and Asta will do about the same. So Freren in general is really good without any cooldown reducing pets, because she can spam a lot, she has good damage anyway, and that's why she's the best without a pet at all. Now, it's gonna be the same moves, but she gets more damage, so why is Asta good now? Because Asta has such a good energy gain that even though he can't reset his abilities, he can just get a lot of damage and a lot of activations on Tanjiro anyway. Just like Saber Christmas with Tanjiro pet or Garo pet, he can get a lot of energy gain, so he's still really good. Guts is now the worst one if you have Tanjiro pet with Awakening. But it completely flips over if you're using Kurumi pet, so the best mythic pet, then Guts will be the best character for you. Asta will be a close second and Freren will be a close third. They're pretty close to each other. All of them basically use more abilities now than they did with Garo, but than they will do with Garo, but still they don't deal as much damage because Garo is just so strong for damage as well. But yeah, now with Kurumi pet, Guts is actually going to be better because Guts doesn't have as good energy gain as Asta and isn't as good petless like Freren, but he just, with the Kurumi, he can spam his attacks just infinitely and he's just so strong. If you're using Garo pet, so you have the best pets, but you don't have the awakenings, who's the best then? Because the awakenings are really expensive. Then Guts is the best. Guts will be the best without the awakening. He doesn't rely on his awakening move because the awakening move isn't that good. It's just 20% more attack and like a move that gives a lot of energy and damage. That's about it. The other ones gives 50% more damage, and that's why Asta is really good here. He gets 50% more damage on his already amazing spam, and then with Garu he can spam even more, so he's just really good. But without the awakening, he can't get that extra damage, and yeah, he isn't as good as Guts without the awakening. Freren is not that good without the awakening. She needs her awakening to get that damage, otherwise she has really mediocre damage. And then, not too much of a lead, Asta is going to be the best if you have the meta stuff. You have Garo Pet, you have the awakening, you have a Celestial, then Asta is going to be the best character in the game. He's better than the previous best, or maybe previous second best. Well, in general, previous best, Guts, and then they're both much better than Freren if you have the best stuff. So Asta is actually the new meta, but you did realize that Asta wasn't the best in a lot of stuff. He's only really the best if you are the best, like if you have the best stuff. So honestly, you don't have to rush Asta because Guts might be better in a lot of scenarios, and Freren, the other gacha character, might be better in a lot of scenarios. So Asta, yes, he is the best late game, but for most of you guys, he's not gonna be the best. In Dimensions, he does have a dash and a speed boost, though he does get put in place with the third ability, and the fourth ability is really bad. He has pretty good mobility, but he doesn't have good AoE. He just can't hit them. So for speedrunning, he sucks. But if you're pretty bad at doing Dimensions, it takes like 10 minutes or even maybe like 5 minutes to do Dimensions. If you're not one-shotting them, then the damage from Asta will actually be pretty good and he could be good. Otherwise, as a main, he's not good in Dimensions. Maybe on an assist, but not as a main. So I've showed you comparison to the gacha characters, so the previous meta character Guts and the other gacha character currently available, Freren, and this is the overall stats for Asta. You can see this in the spreadsheet, all other characters here as well, except for shadow characters. And yeah, you can see the stats here for Asta, the damage I showed you before, and yeah, these stats is what I usually do for most videos. So yeah, how does he compare to the other characters I've tested with these tests? So in bad gear, just using very bad gear in general, he is the best. He's better than all Roblox characters. I haven't tested a lot of characters in these new tests, but yeah, he's better than all Roblox characters. With good gear, so using Garo pets and using everything not Celestial trait though, not the best assist, not the best accessory, still very good gear. He's still the best. Even without the Awakening, he's still beating all the Roblox characters. And a lot, beating the best raid character by a lot in both categories. And then using the best gear in the game, so basically just meta stuff, he is better than Guts. Without the Awakening, not better than Guts, but yeah, he's better than Guts. I haven't tested a lot on these tests. I'm gonna try to test them all much faster, but yeah, I need Celestial and I need the patience. I'm trying. With a Dimension, I didn't do very well with him, but yeah, like we can probably do these first. The speedrun, he's really bad. He's worse than Broly, he's worse than Guts, he's worse than Freren, but if it's a regular Dimension where you don't one-shot everything, he's not too bad. And especially if it's a Dimension where you have a really hard time to kill stuff. Like you don't one-shot it and everything like that. Then Asta could actually be pretty good. But in general, not so good in Dimensions. He does have really good energy gain. With Awakening and without the Awakening, he does have really good energy gain. Probably the second best energy gain in the game. Maybe the third best after Millim and Saber Christmas. I'm not sure about that. And he does benefit from Garo pets a lot. One thing he does do well as well is probably boss rush and speed raid because he has really good burst damage. He has really good damage in general in a short amount of time. So he does beat Guts there, but he does need the fifth ability to get that 1.5x more damage. As an assist, he has really good raw damage, so the unawakened version is one of the best, if not the best, if you exclude Freren here. Tied for the best, if you don't include effects. But if you do include effects, he's probably the worst gacha character. Might even be worse than Kirito and maybe Garo and Estef and everything like that. If you're the late game, but for early game players, critical chance is pretty good, so it could be up there. But yeah, these are the regular tests I will be basing off my usual tier list. The only reason why I didn't was because Guts and Freren I don't have non-celestial and I don't want to roll off them, so I couldn't do these tests. So yeah, I haven't done these, but yeah. So yeah, that's about it for this video. So Asta is really only meta if you have like Garo, Celestial, and Awakening. So if you're basically maxed out, that's the only way Asta is meta, and he's not even meta for anything other than that. He's not that good for Dimensions, he's not the best as an assist. So really, Asta is just someone you want to get late game. So I think it's better to get Freren Elf before Asta, because first of all, she does go away like 3 weeks earlier than Asta, so that's one thing you can keep in mind. So it's just better to get her first. Second of all, she is better for most beginners and a better assist. That's why I would get Frieren instead of Asta. Other than that, yes, Asta is meta for late game players, and even for beginners, he is really good. So he's definitely not a bad choice to get. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you in the next one.